Welcome back to This Quiet Time. Anne and Kelly here. And we have one from Anne today. This has been one of your favorites for a long, long time.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, so
Now,
I'm going to be reacting. I don't know much.
do not go back and listen to last week's or last month's because I probably gave away the ending.
That's true. Little bit.
So this is actually the Flatwoods Monster. And did you know that there's actually other cryptids from West Virginia?
Really?
You know one of them. You know one of them.
I do.
Everybody's favorite, Mothman.
I forgot he was West Virginia.
He's Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's right there on the edge of West Virginia and Ohio.
Okay, gotcha.
And there's also everybody's weekly world news favorite, Bat Boy.
Wait,
I did not know Bat Boy was from West Virginia, but apparently he is.
I mean, there's plenty of mines and stuff, so I guess that makes sense.
Yes, so Flatwoods Monster joins the ranks of Mothman and Bat Boy as West Virginia cryptids.
A luminous company.
Just to give a little factoid for everybody here. He's also sometimes known as the Braxton County Monster or Braxy, and occasionally the Phantom of Flatwoods. I've not ever found anything really that said that, but I guess those are other names apparently that he is known by. They
Phantom of Flatwoods and Braxy.
Braxy, Braxie.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't think they're ever going to catch on.
No, everyone knows Flatwoods.
Yeah. How I found this was the very first time. Yeah, the very first time that I found this one, since we do a lot of work at work, I do a lot of work in all the states. We do projects pretty much everywhere, and one of the things I like to do when I get assigned a project is just to not waste any time or anything, but just spend a couple minutes and what is this town or area known for? And it usually even comes up when you're just even Googling it to try to find out who's your fire marshal, which is what I need to know. Sometimes you find out, hey, here's what we know about this town. Here's what somebody knows about this town. That's how I found the Flatwoods Monster. I was actually doing a project in Flatwoods, West Virginia, years ago. So it was just kind of a happy accident that I actually found a cryptid while at work. So, to set the scene, that
would make for an interesting day. I'm bored. Let's find the fire marshal. Let's find the tax codes. Oh, look, a cryptid.
Yeah. I was the only one who was excited. I did try to share with coworkers, and literally nobody else cared.
Nah.
I was the only one excited about it. But that's fine. The Flatwoods Monster isn't for everybody.
Nope. Not everybody's cryptid.
He's really not. So we're going to go ahead and set the scene here. So this is in September. It's September 12th of 1952. So it was a little while ago.
Oh, yeah, wow.
We're not talking about, there aren't going to be millennials who were around for this one.
No.
This was we're going to do a way back machine and going all the way back to 1952. So we're post-war, we're flourishing, everywhere's growing, the economy's booming. So this is at dusk in Flatwoods, West Virginia, September 12th, 1952. I did find one, I did look it up. Dusk that evening would have been approximately 8 p.m.
Oh, okay. So later in the evening.
Yeah,
I mean, it is September. It's still warm.
Yeah, and that's important because there were a group of boys that were playing outside, and it was, like I said, near dusk. Only one source says where they were playing. It says they were playing at the local elementary school playground.
Oh, okay.
Two of the boys were brothers, Edward and Fred May, and the kids were interrupted by a streak of light across the sky, and they think it lands on a local farmer's property.
Ooh.
So out there playing ball, it's almost dark. Mom's going to be hollering to get them in any minute, and a streak of light goes across the sky. think they saw where it landed, right? So they and a couple
That's
of
a
friends
boy's adventure for sure.
Right. As you can imagine, little kids, they probably thought this was awesome. They thought they were going to go find a meteorite or something. And so a couple of the friends and the boys went and got their mother, the May's mother, Kathleen May.
Oh, okay.
And somehow a local guy named Eugene Lemon.
How does he come into this?
Excellent question. Apparently he was in the West Virginia National Guard, and somehow they roped him into it. How did he come in? No idea. But they also went ahead and collected their dog and took the dog with them too.
Oh.
So we've got 4 or 5 kids in the 10-ish age range, I believe. Their mom and some random dude who's in the National Guard and their dog traipsing up across this poor guy's property.
So at dusk into the woods.
Yeah, and they're just gonna go trespass and do this.
Okay.
So it was in total 7 people in the canine went tromping around this poor guy's farm after dark looking for a meteor. That's what my notes say.
Poor guy.
Yeah. They find the spot. And of course, West Virginia, if you're not familiar, I think everybody's familiar with West Virginia. Very hilly, very mountainous. There's no there's not a whole lot of just like flat expanses of land. Now, if this guy's a farmer, I would guess that he must have some, but so True. They find a spot and they climb the very last hill and they find a glowing red orb, smoke, and an oily, and sometimes it's also referred to as a metallic smell in the air.
I had heard that there was a glowing red thing.
It was red. I guess glowing red like hot metal? I really am not sure. But the history on this is a little sketchy.
I didn't know they found anything so cool.
Well, that's what they say they found. And they said that it was all smoky and that something smelled oily or metallic. Now, the dog is clearly the only one who watched the blob, and he just hightails it home.
Oh,
the dog's the only smart one in this bunch, and he good boy, just heads on home.
Smart.
Yeah. But once at the crash site, hang on. Or maybe crash site is just hard to say. Once at the crash site, they now notice that they're not alone. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, they're not.
Well, once again, this is pretty iffy. Some say that one of the boys shined their flashlight over near them, like in like near the woods or something near them. Mm-hmm. And some just indicate that they all just somehow became aware of it. And by it, we mean a large man-like creature nearly 12 feet tall and about 12 feet. We're talking realize the earth stood still tall.
I hadn't even known that.
12 feet tall, 4 feet wide.
Oh.
Making no sound. And this is a quote. And actually, I should have told you, the quote starts at a large man-like creature. So, making no sound, it floated toward them. The creature had a red face and bright green clothing, which hung in folds below the waist. Its head was shaped like the ace of spades, and there was an almost sickening metallic odor emanating from its body.
They got close enough to know what its body smelled like.
End quote. You got what I got. To be fair, even contemporaneous reports vary. Some give this description. Some say that the green was actually local flora reflecting off of a metallic suit. So he wasn't wearing a green suit, but it was the local plant life made it look green because the suit was metallic.
Oh, well, it would have been very green at that time of year.
Yeah, more level heads say that it was a local playing a prank, which seems kind of elaborate, not knowing that there was going to be, a meteorite
right
there. I think that seems like, would you really have that? You don't be able to get there that quick. So I'm going to discount prank. But my personal favorite is let's think about that head shape, that face shape, like an ace of
Ace of
spades.
spades. That's very specific.
Yeah. What else might have something that has an ace
Mhm.
of spades and glides silently in the dust?
Who could that be?
Exactly. Barn owl. Yeah. Spade-shaped face, 12 feet up, gliding silently towards you. Yeah, ring any
Mhm.
bells? That's why I have issues with it. The brave explorers
Yeah.
did decide that the dog had the right idea and skedaddled at that point.
Smart. I mean, you don't want to find out you're wrong about the barn owl theory.
Right, right. I mean, they thought that something was, flying out of the woods at them. So Mother May calls the
Gee,
authorities.
where do owls live?
I mean, the thing that makes me very confused is like they haven't seen an owl before.
Right. Right.
But they were scared. It was dark. Everything was weird. They maybe watched too many movies.
It smells
But
weird. That would have set me on edge because I'm a
right, smells.
smell-oriented person.
Yeah, if it smelled really weird, I definitely would have been no, thank you. I don't want an oily owl.
Mhm.
Oh, can you imagine how mad an oily owl would be?
Oof.
A
Oof, they're
meme
already
recently.
snobby and grumpy.
Saw a meme or something recently where somebody said that they'd had a professor or somebody once describe owls as feather pillows filled with seething hatred.
Accurate.
I mean, I'm not sure they're wrong.
Oh,
So
so
it's
yes,
close.
reason to be scared. So, and now in 1952,
Yeah.
in this part of Appalachia, they would have been well aware that owls are angry, so they probably would have been conditioned to react to them as, "Woo, dangerous."
Right? Except they have, I don't know at what point they decided that this was an alien, maybe on the quick trot back home. I don't know. So Mother May calls the authorities. Where did Eugene go? Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Mentioned again.
What's Eugene
Maybe
doing?
maybe Eugene got eaten. I don't know. He shows up mysteriously to be the big, brave, strong protector, Mr. National Guardsman, and disappears just as quickly. Is he even real? I don't know.
Right. Was there really a Eugene? Who's Eugene? Will the real Eugene please stand up?
Yeah, well, it gets even weirder because supposedly, after she makes this call, the government,
Oh,
what
government.
agency, I'm not sure, and yeah, so she calls the police, but somehow the government gets sent
Quote
out, and
unquote.
they send real life men in black to verify their story.
Oh.
Show up and interview people, perhaps erase some memories. I'm not sure on that point.
Ooh, like Men in Black, the little flashy.
Right, right. Well, supposedly the government sent people out to interview these people to verify if this was true. They even absconded with poor mother's dress because she had
What?
been wearing a dress that night and she got some of the oil on it at the crash site.
How did she get oil on it?
Not explained. Like I said, pretty sketchy information. So maybe she
I
had
mean,
touched something.
if we touched it.
Maybe as the alien approached, it flicked some on her. She said that she had oil on her dress, and they took that dress and they had the nerve to not ever even give it back.
Oh my gosh. Rude. So
But
rude. A
the
woman needs
weirdest
her dress.
the
Oh,
weirdest thing is this is literally the end of the story.
that's it. Nothing else comes out of it.
That's it. It was supposedly believable enough that calling the police caused the police to call somebody, and I'm assuming the federal government, if they're sending out men in black,
Right?
they come and do all this, even take that dress and blah, 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 and then nothing.
What?
So,
That's
does that make it more believable or less? You think that somebody got all worked up and they came out and they're like, y'all are crazy hillbillies, I'm out?
right. I mean, were
Or,
they like that, or did they believe them that this happened the way
or
they
is it
thought
all
it did?
true and we have sketchy information because they erased some of the memories? How did she get the oil on her dress?
I mean, surely they would have erased Miss May's memory, one of the first people.
Well,
so that she remembers
she
anything.
never explained. It's never described how she got that quote unquote oil on her dress. Maybe she doesn't remember.
That's true. That's true.
The boys and their friends, there's nothing else about them really that I found. Now, there's probably a book or something somewhere that details this a lot better that I didn't find.
Mm-hmm.
But
If nobody's written this book, oh my gosh, you need to do it.
right, you need to go like talk to people or something and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, what's the real story? I wonder if Mother May's even still alive." Because if she had a 10-ish-year-old in 1952,
She was at least in her 30s,
she
if
could have been
not
born in
more.
the 20s. Ooh, she's probably not around anymore. But the kids might be.
Right.
Because they would have been born in the 40s.
So
Or
our parents'
mid-40s.
age.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're not here, but not everyone that age is gone.
Right, right. So those kids might still be around, but just the fact that everything about this says panicked people saw a barn owl and mistook the shrubbery under it as this big skirt-like
Mm-hmm.
outfit. I mean, that's really what I think it was.
I mean,
But
it
again,
really does scream misunderstanding, but
right, they got themselves spooked. They went up there. I'm just glad that nobody poked it with a stick and started the whole blob.
right? I mean, do not unleash the blob on the world.
Never poke something that fell out of the sky with a stick.
The dog knew better.
The dog went home. The dog went home. I'm assuming it went home. Nobody said anything bad happened to the dog, so I'm telling myself that dog
Oh,
went
I'd be
home.
so mad if something bad happened to that dog.
I'm assuming that he was like, "You people are stupid."
I'm telling you, Rover better have made it.
Right. They didn't even give me the name of the dog, but yeah, but this whole Eugene Lemon to me feels like an add-on at the end to give it legitimacy, you know?
Oh yeah, National Guard guy was there.
Right, because if it's just this woman and her excitable preteen sons and a couple of their buddies, you know,
Yeah, but in a community that small, as the story started to spread, if there was no Eugene, or Eugene is real but didn't actually participate,
we don't know when Eugene got
you would
added
think
to the
somebody would
story.
call that out. Yeah, but you would
We
think
don't
that he would
know.
call out.
But I didn't find any sources this time. I didn't pull any that happened to mention it, but I do remember the first time that I came across the story, there were some less than subtle hints that Mama May might not have been 100% sober at the time.
Gotcha, a little bit altered. Best
Right,
time to
that
trade
she
it
may
out
have
into the
had a
woods.
reputation for drinking. I do not want to slander the woman, know nothing about her myself. I didn't see it mentioned when I was researching it specifically this time. It just means I didn't come
Okay,
across the same resource this time.
right. So
But
alcohol may or may not have been involved. I mean, that's
evening,
common with a lot of these sightings.
right. And so, it was 8 in the evening. Who's to say? I wouldn't blame the woman if she'd had a couple drinks.
I
Her
appreciate a
kids were
couple of
outside
preteen
playing. It was
sons.
1952. What's the problem?
Hey,
However,
after
when you
the
go,
meltdown this afternoon, I've been drinking vodka, so I totally understand her.
there you go. I think that well, I have a beer sitting here, but I didn't want to drink it and then try to record because didn't want to be rude.
Right, right, right.
I will have it after. It's Friday,
Exactly.
darn it.
Yes, it is.
So,
And
there's
it's
a lot of
Friday
factors.
somewhere.
Yeah. Heck, it's 7 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I would love to believe it, but just too much of it feels like a couple of kids got excited. There wasn't much going on. Sure, there was a meteorite, which probably was super exciting. Now, they
Right.
trespassed. Cannot advise. Uh,
No.
yeah, but then
Nowadays,
again,
you could get shot.
right, and there'd probably be like game trail cameras and stuff, but that would have also proved there was no alien. But my biggest thing is not only it does the story just basically abruptly end after and the men in black showed up and went away and it just disappeared. the fact that nobody else saw this monster. Where
I
did he
was just
go?
about to say that. There's no other stories. It's not like Mothman where there's multiple stories, or Bigfoot, or I almost said capybara. The cappies, the yokai.
Oh yeah, with the turtles.
Yeah, there are no other stories about Flatwoods Monster, and that's really weird. So did the Men in Black confiscate it?
Well, I mean,
Or why is there no other Flatwoods Monster?
the 12-foot monster in their car.
Well, that's true. Well, I'm sure they had a paddy wagon. Come
Crash
on.
landed. Where did he go? He was
Right.
obviously well enough and uninjured enough to swoop at them.
Menace
them.
the populace.
But yeah, nobody else in the town, as far as I can find, had any sightings. I mean, the sightings of the meteorite, yes. There's no
Okay, so that was a question I had.
No, I believe, from what I can tell, that is absolutely true. There was some kind of meteorite.
Did it crash land locally, or did it crash further, or just burn up completely?
Cannot confirm. Cannot confirm.
Okay.
Now that that they say they saw all this stuff, that they saw the glowing blob, there was the smoke. I mean, I would say that it is possible that a little piece of it did land somewhere near them.
Okay.
I would not rule that out.
That something reached the ground is possible.
I mean, weirder things have happened. I mean, people have been hit by meteorites.
That is true. It can happen.
So that part is not unrealistic. And even the smoke and perhaps even the weird smell, who knows what it was composed of? Maybe it had metals in it that were now superheated and stunk.
Ooh, that's something for the people who've been hit by meteorites to research. Did they report
What it smelled like?
smell? Yeah, because
But I mean, if it had,
hot metal, basically.
I mean, I don't find any of that unbelievable. I only find it unbelievable that this was actually a 12-foot monster.
Right, not a barn
Monster
owl.
itself, I find unbelievable. The rest of it, I'm like, man, the rest of that would have been a story you could tell at Thanksgiving the rest of your life as it was. Why did you add a monster?
Right.
And what happened to Eugene? Where did he go?
Right. What's the point of you?
Calling
You're
Eugene.
useless.
If Eugene is still alive, somebody find him for us, please.
Yeah. Tell me about
I want to hear his side of the story, because I can't even figure out where they picked Eugene up. It's like they ran home to tell mom, and mom and Bob joined the kids tromping on off, and suddenly Eugene is part. And I don't see Eugene listed in all of the stuff.
Right. Well, maybe Eugene was an uncle, or an uncle in quotation marks, or
no telling, because I only found him like in one place, and I was like, where did this guy come from?
How fun.
And I thought, well, maybe somebody added him just to try to make it sound a little more legit, because maybe Eugene saw it. Eugene saw it. He wasn't just a scared kid and a possibly intoxicated mom.
Right. I mean, fair.
He just had it for.
But is Eugene real, and is Eugene backing this up?
I would love to know.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know, because if somebody could say to me, hey, I am a relative of Eugene's and he absolutely swears this happened, I want to know. I will change my opinion.
That's the real mystery. Who is Eugene, and what did he see?
I will change my opinion from absolutely barn owl to undetermined.
Oh, that's a huge shift.
To undetermined, if somebody can prove to me that Eugene backs this up.
Okay.
And that he was real.
And that he was also not possibly intoxicated.
Well, right? I mean, come on.
I mean, if he was sitting on his porch drinking and it's like, what y'all doing?
Maybe he just decided to tag along.
Yeah, I'll go investigate that.
But since he is not related to them and is not 10, I would like to hear his side of the story.
Right.
But until then, I believe it was an owl and they were just freaking themselves out. You know how easy it is to freak yourself out in the woods?
Oh yeah, you remember when we were hiking up on the mountain as teens, mid-teens, and that one friend of ours thought she saw a tarantula. It was that dark. And she thought she saw a tarantula and lost her mind.
Oh, I
It
forgot.
had us all freaked out.
And it wasn't.
No, it was just a dark
Leaf.
place in the rock.
Yeah, or a leaf or something stupid. It was like
Yeah.
not a
So, I
tarantula.
mean, at dusk, it is so easy to see things that aren't there and lose your GD mind.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've experienced it personally, how easy it is to freak out over nothing.
And preteen and early teen boys, come on.
Oh,
They
their
are
imaginations are
essentially hormones and
crazy.
imagination. That is all they are right
Oh,
now.
yeah. I mean, it'd be so easy to freak out.
I'm surprised they
But,
were able
okay,
to keep their attention long enough to hike over there.
let's okay, let's just entertain the idea that it was real. That they
Okay.
saw. What would this be? Would this be an alien? Would this
It
be
would've-
Fae? Would
It would have
this
had to have been an
be?
alien because it came in on a meteor or a meteorite.
But could Fae come in at a trajectory
Outer
from the
space?
sky?
I mean, I've never heard anybody else saying that they came from outer space.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually
I've
they
never
come
heard Fae.
through fairy rings or fairy doors or
Yeah, yeah. And there were some legitimate
terrestrial
things about the
portals.
story. That description of the hot metal makes sense to me. I really now want to dig into
It
what
makes sense to
other
me that would be a
meteorites look like.
meteorite. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't make me discount it as
Because if a meteorite makes it all the way through the atmosphere, it's not just rock. It's got to be metal to
right,
survive that long with that intense
or at
heat.
least partially.
And it's going to be superheated, and that will put off a smell. I mean, we've just recently been talking about, how everyone experiences the world through different senses, and that we're both
Right.
very smell-oriented.
Yeah.
So
And
I can
just saying an oily
absolutely see
metallic
that.
smell, I can smell that.
Yeah, I can feel that,
Yeah,
and
in
I
my
just makes me wonder
nose.
if they're smell-oriented people, that is
Yeah.
such an important skill.
I can just smell that, what it must have smelled like. But yeah, it's getting
Mhm.
dark, it's late, you're looking at something that you don't completely understand, it smells weird, there's a little bit of smoke, which also makes sense. It would
Could
be
be
hot if
burning
there's that
dirt.
brush on fire.
Yeah,
And you see something.
right.
Look at the world through flashlights? Why do you think that, like, when you play horror games, that a lot of times your character only has a little flashlight? Because it makes everything
Right.
scarier.
Well, heck, even just like when you try to scare each other at a sleepover when you're a teenager, you turn out the lights and you have a flashlight,
Yep.
and you
Yeah.
get freaked out. Or if you're us, you go hiking at dusk to early dark and get
And
freaked
damn it
out.
yourself, there's giant spiders. I mean, it's not like a tarantula was completely out of the
It was
question,
completely possible.
but it was not a tarantula.
No, but I mean, in that case, if you then think it's an alien, yeah, that's going to be an alien.
But sometimes at night it really is something. Like when I woke up in the middle of the night camping and I felt something under my hammock, and then
And
the
it was an
coyotes started
armadillo.
howling in our camp, right in the middle of our camp.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the armadillo. Yes,
Oh,
the
the armadillo, that was
coyote.
funny too. I thought that was a person, and it turned out to be an animal.
Yep, yep, yep.
Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, wasn't you? Oh,
It
there
was
was that
her
time that
fault.
we were out there and we thought it was our friend's dogs, and we found out later there'd been a bear in
Yeah.
the area. And that was probably it, going sniffle, 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 sniffle.
Yup.
In the dark, things become whatever you think they are.
Well, and sometimes sometimes they
I'd
really
be
are what you
curious
think they
to
are.
know what kind of literature and movies they had been consuming.
What have they been consuming? What did they know or believe about space or
Aliens in general.
meteorites or
I mean, War of
aliens
the
or
Worlds was in the 40s, I wanna say? Okay, I might have to Google that.
yeah, I may have to look up something too.
Um,
No. What was Man, I don't remember. Okay. This actually I should have looked this up before. The day the earth stood still was a
38! Ooh, it was earlier than I thought. Okay, so the alien thing
Okay, with the
Definitely.
ginormous metal-covered alien, guess what year The Day the Earth Stood Still came out?
47.
Incorrect. Just the year before, 1951.
51? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, so the people saying that, "Oh, no, it was a metal suit." And how would these people know they weren't there?
Ooh, so I'd be very curious what kind of media they'd been consuming. I mean, we
I
talk
mean,
about
they could have
how
watched.
social media influences our behaviors and thoughts and patterns now. Well, it did it
Yeah.
then too, it just wasn't as easily disseminated.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But
Normally, when we
that
talk about
movie,
descriptions,
that's
we
what I
talk about
thought
how they
of.
could be possible, but this one just doesn't.
Yeah, but that's what I thought of with the description when it's like, "Oh, but maybe it was covered in metal and it was just reflecting the plant life around it." It's like
Mhm.
12 feet tall, made of
Plausible.
metal. That is the day the earth stood still.
Right? Well, and 12 feet up, I'm looking at my ceiling now,
Right, that's about
and
my
it's
ceiling,
about
the vaulted ceiling in
8,
my living room.
9. It's probably in the middle about 9, maybe 10. Yeah, that's definitely bird height.
Yeah, I mean, that was an owl perched on a branch.
Yeah. Bless that owl's heart. It has no idea what it spawned.
Right? I mean, that poor owl, he's so long gone now.
Mm.
Yeah, I should have looked up the day the earth stood still earlier, since that is the first thing that came to mind as soon as somebody suggested that it was metal. I was
Right.
like, yeah, yeah, I can't remember the alien's name in that, but I'm like, yeah,
Klaatu or something?
yeah, Klaatu, Matu, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So, I
mean, if
mean,
that was
look good
fresh.
for it. Was something like that close in, popular culture?
Yeah, yeah.
They were
There we go.
looking for.
Klaatu.
Okay,
Klaatu.
there you
Klaatu.
go. Yeah, they were looking for that.
Yes. They were
They were
primed
expecting
for that.
that. When did the Blob come out? The original Blob. Gosh, I
I
love
don't
that
know.
movie because it scared me so bad.
It scared me so much, it was my childhood terror, right up there with Alien.
Yep. Yeah, I was quite. Oh nope, Blob didn't come out till later, so I guess the dog had not seen the Blob. My mistake.
Okay, 58, yep, nope, nope, 6 more
My
years
mistake.
before
The dog didn't see the Blob.
but it saw when the Earth stood still.
Right, it knew to get out of there.
Yep, it was smart.
Definitely don't
Well,
poke it with a
I
stick.
mean, with that sense of smell, if the people reporting that smell, I'm sure that was overwhelming to a dog.
Oh yeah, it had to smell awful, and with the smoke, yeah, dog's just gonna
Yeah.
bolt.
That has to sounds
I would.
terrifying to the dog. Yeah, mine would absolutely be like, "Nope." If I so much as put a candle out, they're out of the room.
Right, mine definitely notice anything that smells
Yeah, or if
odd.
I burn something in the kitchen, they're not there with me.
No, no, they know that smoke doesn't usually mean anything good.
Oh, bad, yeah. So, yeah, I'm don't surprised. So many of these, I'm like, "Oh, okay, here's a cultural reason for it," or, "Here's a possible explanation." Nah, this isn't real.
No, this is straight up. They saw a movie and expected a monster at a meteorite site.
But what's cool about it is that we all know what the fuck this is.
Right. I mean,
So that's
culturally,
cool.
everybody has seen that movie, right?
Right. Right. I would say the majority of people who ever hear this will have seen it. But it's just I think what's cool about it, not so much as that it's real, it's not real. I'm so convinced. I will never say 100%, but I am so close to
Well, that's why
100%.
I'm only willing to go to undetermined if Eugene could
If Eugene comes forward or
ver-
Eugene's relatives.
right, if somebody
Yeah.
could confirm Eugene's involvement.
Right, but it's just so interesting that it caught on. In 1952, the story has survived till 2023,
No,
and most people know what the Flatwoods Monster is, at least like in a general, not like all these details. I didn't know all these details. But they have an idea what it is.
Monster.
Yeah, it became something.
Of course,
And so that speaks
getting the day.
Right. But it speaks to what it touches on in our own like fears or interests or feelings about how the universe works.
Fear. The innate fear of other. I mean,
right. In this case, definitive alien.
Right.
It's cool. So it's kind of cool how that made. I mean, there's been other meteors and crash sites, but they don't enter the public consciousness. So how that happened is kind of cool.
Right, that somebody kept it alive long enough that it became a thing, at least locally.
Right. I mean,
So
I would assume that was like some newspaper articles, whatever. But it survived long enough to become quote unquote viral. That's cool.
Yeah, that it became an actual thing.
So that's cool. I like that about it, even though I think it's an owl.
It is absolutely an owl.
But it's cool that it made it this
I love the Flatwoods Monster, but it's an owl. Mothman, I can get behind Mothman.
Right. I mean, he's all about our infrastructure, man.
I mean, he has an agenda, and it is a good agenda. It is a helpful agenda. I can get behind Mothman.
Right. Chupacabra. You know, like these animals who suck blood because of their disease. Yeah. I'd buy it. Flatwoods Monster?
Flatwoods Monster is almost as bad as Batboy. Like, Batboy ate up for the freaking Weekly World News.
Yes, but it was.
If I were ever in West Virginia and near Flatwoods, would I stop by? Yes.
Absolutely. I would fangirl so hard.
You know, does somebody have a plaque or something out where it supposedly landed? I'll proceed. I will take a picture.
Oh yeah.
I'll take a picture. Absolutely.
Speaking of pictures and things out there, have you heard? I've seen pictures even of the Mothman statue has cake.
What? It has cake?
Yes. He is well known for it.
I've seen pictures of
voluptuous booty.
Oh my. Okay. Oh, somebody put a mask on him, I see. During COVID.
Oh, smart. Smart. We don't want Mothman getting sick. He is important.
Right? Who else is going to draw attention to our crumbling infrastructure?
I mean, other than everybody who drives on it, but yeah.
Hello, Arkansas Bridge.
That was terrifying.
Over the Mississippi, I believe. I-40, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Was it I-40? Yeah. It was I-40 going over between Arkansas and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Whew, and there aren't that many places to cross the Mississippi, which is kind of wild.
Not on interstate, anyway.
Yeah, there aren't that many. That's why when I did field work down in Kentucky at the confluence between Ohio, Kentucky, and Missouri, that was even though it was the middle of nowhere, basically, archaeologically speaking, it wasn't, but socially it was the middle of nowhere. But it was so busy because that was one of the few within miles. It was one of the few crossings of the Mississippi River. Otherwise, you had to go down to Tennessee or you had to go up to St. Louis.
Right.
Basically.
Right. So it was important for that.
Right. So our crumbling infrastructure, Mothman needs to really ramp it up.
Yeah. Maybe he's tired. He's just been to so many places and there's so much work. It's just overwhelmed him.
So I believe in Mothman, his mission, spot on.
I do. I absolutely believe in his mission.
But Flatwoods Monster?
There is a Flatwoods Monster. Okay, we do eventually have to go to West Virginia then, because there is a Flatwoods Monster Museum in Braxton.
What?
There is.
I want to go. Where's the closest airport?
Yeah, right? And there's also the Walmart in Flatwoods. There's a Facebook page if you want to know. The Walmart in Flatwoods, as of November 5th, still has the Braxton County Monster, in parentheses, Opoly games. I may need that.
Oh, Christmas idea.
I wonder if you can find that. Do they have other monsters?
Do they? Monsteropoly is an amazing idea. Cryptid Monopoly.
I mean, that would be like really awesome.
I would play that. Like regular Monopoly?
Oh,
Boardwalk, got it.
we may have to recover this later. I did just find a book I didn't find before.
Ooh.
The Braxton County Monster, the cover-up of the Flatwoods Monster revealed.
The cover-up? There's a cover-up?
The hardcover is $30. Yikes.
Oh, do we want to invest that much? Oh, yes, I do. I'll give you.
Oh, there's a newer edition. Please tell me there's an Audible. There's not. Why is there not an Audible? Guys, get with the times.
I will find you half the money.
I mean, it's a whole
oh my gosh. Amazing.
Okay, maybe that could answer some of these questions. Who said it was metal?
Like, where's Eugene?
Where did Eugene come from?
Right.
Dog's name.
I want to know more.
Apparently, there was
we might have a follow-up episode.
Yeah, because apparently there's somebody believes it's a cover book. Okay, so you can get a paperback for $29.95. Okay,
I will tell you in 5 minutes.
Good. I'm gonna get it. Let's see here. It actually has 43 ratings. Okay, 43 people have read it.
Or 43 bots. You don't know it.
Well, that's true.
Awesome.
All right. We may. We will have to do an update after I have received and read this book.
Okay.
It should arrive Thursday.
We can do like the equivalent of Red-Handed, where they have the shorthand.
We can do you can have the Flatwoods Monster rundown.
Instead of it disquiet time, it could be slightly uncomfortable time and be a short rundown of the book.
Slightly uncomfortable time.
For the short version.
I found Chicagopoly. Maybe it's like an obvious plant. Maybe somebody like edited it.
Oh,
I would be very disappointed.
I would be too, because I want this now. It has become bigger than backyard string lights for me.
I wish it could be ordered, so I guess maybe I'm not the only one who is now disappointed. Because if I could get a collection of Monopoly games for different cryptids, that would be really exciting, actually.
Wouldn't that be amazing? And we could invite people over. Anybody who listens to the podcast can come to X location, and we will have Cryptid Monopoly.
I mean, that's really awesome.
Does this sound fun?
It does. It does. We just need Cryptid Monopoly, though. Not only do we need Cryptid Monopoly.
I want to do this now as a. We don't have a name. So C-Rad watches some of these YouTubers, and like one of them calls all their followers Greg, and Emmy calls them My Lovelies. We don't have a name for people who listen.
Corbin calls theirs Weirdos.
Weirdos, yeah, that's true. Hey, Weirdos. So we need to come up with a name, or somebody needs to post a name, and then we can have whatever name Cryptid Monopoly Night.
There you go.
So I want to do this. I'm not even social, and I want to do this.
But it would still be fun.
I would love it.
Okay, now here is an Amazon Opoly board. No.
Okay, I'm looking at Cryptid Monopoly. Cryptid Game Night. How to...
Okay, if anybody is listening, I will pay you to ship me that game.
There's a Cryptid card game. Cryptid Hunter, the elusive card game.
Nice.
Oh,
Why
wow.
does Amazon have Wisconsinopoly and not Braxton Countyopoly?
We've been gypped. We've been gypped.
For all you stoners out
Wow.
there, you can get one that is pot themed,
Pass.
but there is not a
Maybe
cryptidopoly.
not pass. I don't know. My
Well, I
pain is
mean,
serious. Maybe.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm not finding anything that has opoly that we want.
Oh, Cryptid Hunter is still a Kickstarter.
Oh,
I think
man.
I might have to give them money.
Yeah, to get a copy of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a shame though. I really want that one.
Mhm. Me too.
Send a message and I will give you my address so you can ship the game to them.
I'll get a PO box if I have.
Right? Ship it to work.
Right. That's true. Work. That's safe.
Okay, well,
Allegedly.
for vacation this year, we may need to talk the others into West Virginia.
I wonder if they would do it. I wonder if they would. I mean, we're about to hit a big round number here, so
Right, right.
I
Not
know we
really
were
good for
talking
that
about
one
something else.
necessarily. I wanted to do something big for that one, but maybe West Virginia
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
Looking at West Virginia on a map, I never realized how much it looks like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, gobble gobble.
I had no idea, but it really
It was last
does.
updated December 9th, so I don't know if this is ever gonna happen.
Last year?
Cryptid Hunter, yeah. It was
Oh, it may not have met its
updated a year
goal.
ago. Well, it says it's fully funded on day 6, but I see nothing about
Oh,
it actually publishing.
okay. Did you know there's a Mount Nebo, West Virginia?
There's a Mount Nebo, West Virginia?
There is.
Cool. Very
That's
cool.
interesting.
I had no idea.
Me either.
Okay, we've probably droned on long enough.
Yeah, but I mean, there's lots of questions that are unanswered, but it's going to take a
Yeah,
lot to convince me that it wasn't. But if we can actually get a
right.
government cover up involved in it, I'm for it.
If they can convince me in that book that there's
That
a cover
there's
up,
an actual cover up,
I will
or
be
even
thrilled.
a good possibility of the cover up.
Right, but it's gotta be legit, man. Though I am loving the latest theories that a lot of these cryptids are fey, and that's why we never find them, they just transfer back over dimensions. I'm loving
Right.
that.
But I've never heard of one that came from outer space. They're almost always terrestrial portals. So I'm not
Yeah,
going
you're right.
to.
I
I
wanted to float
have
it,
to
but
see
it just
more.
didn't go anywhere.
They don't seem to be space aliens very much. So
No. Though the idea of aliens and fae, I've heard them conflated, but that's the aliens in quotation marks, like there's no proof that they came from outer space.
just that they were.
That they had the big heads and the big eyes and, no necessary connection to outer space. Just the assumption of outer space.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I have not dug into it, but
Oh well, you can get kind of a weird little triangle for Point Pleasant, Flatwoods, and Mount Nebo.
oh, really? We might have to
Yeah.
post that.
Probably want to move Mount Nebo up to this, maybe the starting point. Oh no, that doesn't work very well. Put it in the
Hmm.
middle? Anyway, nobody cares about vacation
So
planning.
what's the other point of the triangle if Mount Nebo's in the middle?
Point Pleasant, Flatwoods, and Mount Nebo.
But what if Mount Nebo's in the middle, you said? Who's
Oh,
the last point?
well, you would either start at or end at Flatwoods or Point Pleasant.
Oh,
It
okay.
shortens it a little and just makes it a U if you put it in kind of
Oh.
the middle.
I thought you were still making a triangle with it in the middle.
No. No, it was just a point in the triangle. It is still
Darn.
kind of triangle shape between the three, but
Cool. You might have to post that as part of our, or send me that image as part of our posting.
I can do that.
Cool.
Intense Mount Nebo will only matter to like literally less than 3,000 people in the world.
Right. Right. Still, it's cool.
And we will also have a couple of AI generated ideas for what the Flatwoods Monster looked like based on the description.
Oh, yeah. My attempts were pathetic. We'll look at ants.
Well, I only got the one that looked like anything.
Yeah, I got the one that looked kind of tree and tall and big eye. That
Used
was
to
it.
have green, but absolutely. Well, anyway,
Those were
that was
fun.
that was this month's jaunt through West Virginia, since apparently it is
Yeah.
a cryptid mecca.
Apparently, I had not
Who knew?
realized that.
Who knew?
Well, I think we have to make some travel plans.
I think so. I think we do.
Summer 2024.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Why? Yeah,
Eugene,
why
we are
not?
coming for you.
Yeah, Eugene's relatives, be on the lookout.
We are coming for you. Anyway, probably shouldn't make it sound so ominous.
Oh no, you definitely need to make it sound ominous.
No, you know. Anyway, that is all for me
Okay.
tonight.
Well, thank you for sharing that one. I learned a lot. I didn't know a lot of those details, so that's super
And I'm
cool.
hoping that the things I couldn't answer are in the book.
Yes, there will be an update. And
There will be
until then,
book turns out not to be garbage.
right. This is Ann and Kelly with This Quiet Time. Bye.
Bye.
I have